We're now joined in studio by the president of the Native Tribal Indigenous Movement, Mr. Petrus Ndaba, to unpack the latest on the land hearings. A very good evening to you and thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening.
Now just discuss, let our viewers know who you are and what your movement is about, the Native Tribal Indigenous Movement.
Our movement, a tribal indigenous movement, and administration of the native kingdom of our origin, and stand for the kingdom and the land which were forcefully taken with the bloodshed, which the last kingdom to be colonized were the kingdom of KwaZulu, 1879 eSandlwana, KwaNodwengu, Blood River, where the British swept and killed all the kingdoms, and Amabuto took the land in South Africa, which belongs to the kingdom. And then from there, we hear today that people of South Africa is fine, they are fighting for the land expropriation. But our question is that when the land has been taken from a white minority, but the problem, to whom they are going to give the land? Because the land of South Africa were taken from the kingdom's land, and there were blood that shed, eSandlwana, which the last kingdom to be colonized were the kingdom of KwaZulu. So what we are saying, the land belongs to the kingdom, not to the tribal kingdom, where the original owner of the land, which has been swept away by the British colonial master and monster. So we see a lot of things that are happening in South Africa. For an example, you find our blacks and brothers, foreigners, who are occupying many land, especially here in Pretoria, here I am. If you can go to Sunnyside, if you can go to Pretoria West, Johannesburg in Uval and Hillbrow, you'll find that a lot. But my question is that when South Africans are voting, so the promise of service delivery for the voters are so highly singing by the different political parties. But when the service delivery must supposed to be achieved by the South Africans, they share that little with the foreigners. So when the native tribal movement, they start to contest the election 2019. So we are going to firstly work with to shape our country, to shape South Africa. And when we saw this thing of the land with South Africa, and we are going to urge our brothers and sisters to another country, meaning the foreigners, to excuse us so that we may sort our South African, sort our society. From there, after sorting our society, is there we can talk about the foreigners.
So, Mr. Ndaba, you've mentioned a kingdom that you said that the land was stolen from a particular kingdom. You've mentioned KZN and some areas in Pretoria as well as Johannesburg. So which kingdom specifically do you represent? Which province, which part of the country? And have you been taking part in the public hearings to actually make your views heard by the government?
Yes. Eventually, we are 9 provinces. We are not controllers or tribal leaders. We are from the kingdom. We are administration of the kingdom. All kingdoms, they are with us on our database. We work with them. But what now we want South Africa to know, they must know that there is a kingdom organization, not a politic, an organization of the kingdoms that stand for the kingdom. You must remember, when you cast the vote on tribal land, which is the kingdom land, And then the law of South Africa does not allow that you must cast the vote on private land. The kingdom is a private land. So when you cast the vote promising a service delivery, you know for the fact that the law of South Africa does not allow you to cast the vote on kingdom land, which is the private land. When you cast, you promise them, service delivery, which you don't provide. You know you can't provide that service delivery.
But coming back to the issue of land expropriation without compensation, the government has mentioned that they're not going to be touching land like the land that's in the Ngonyama Trust. They're going to expropriate land starting with the government land and then land that's predominantly privately owned. Do you agree that Section 25 of the Constitution should be amended to allow expropriation of land without compensation?
Good. Good. We are so in a very understanding what the government put, but the kingdom on chapter 12 of the Constitution of the Republic are subject. Are not there, are subject. Why? Because their land has been grabbed 1879, the last kingdom to be colonized with the kingdom of KwaZulu. So what we are saying on the land issue, we can't debate or we can't fight with our black brothers. What we are saying now, we are not discriminating. We are saying that on the land issue, we need the Britain to come and answer. To come and answer about the land that has been forcefully grabbed 1879. And then we are going to request FW Clerk National Party to come and tell us that why they put the law of apartheid, the law Act number 27 of 1913, of which that act prevent the kingdoms for their land. Now, when they created the land in 1879, the blood of the kings shed there. There was no one of our brothers, black politician or contractors or what, who was there. It was only the kings. So now we want to know when they expropriate the land, to whom they're going to give.
Well, it's a question that actually can be given out to the government through these hearings, and hopefully they will actually be able to answer you on that one. Mr. Ndaba, just before we let you go, to clear the air, there were some allegations made against you last year regarding, kidnapping and some fraud and, the issue around the kidnapping. The last time we checked, the hearings were proceeding. Can you give us an update on what exactly might have happened?
Good. You see, that was smuggling me to not talk about the kingdom and the military integration of unintegrated former SADF, black and colored soldiers for their integration, which 1994, they integrated former MK Apla, Putatswana Sinsky, but we former SADF, black and colored, were cast away. We have been sidelined because we're from the kingdom. They're scared that when we talk about the kingdom, that the kingdom will be the owner of the land. So that was a problem. So they smuggled me, but now it's still in the court, on the court.
Okay.
But there's nobody who's coming now. Because I was never kidnapping anybody. There's nobody who can kidnap 259 people alone.
Okay, so you were the one who was smuggled in the situation. You said you were smuggled in the situation.
They smuggled me. Police, they smuggled me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ndaba, for joining us and just for clarifying your position on land as well. We're out of time. It is time now for a short break, but do stay tuned for more news coming up after that.